Boosie going to jail. Oh, God.
A lot of things this case has stopped me from doing, traveling all across the world, making. So I just want to get it over with, and, you know, accept my guilty plea. I'm ready to get over it.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
Just say a prayer for them. I just need prayer. I don't need nothing else.
Well, Charleston White was celebrating you taking the plea deal. I think he even said he hopes you die in jail and stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard.
The biggest thing right now was that you actually accepted a plea deal for your federal gun case.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been like fighting this thing from the very, very beginning?
I've been fighting for probably 3 years now, probably.
3 years.
Boosie been fighting demons for years, but this time it looks like the wall's finally closing in on him. The feds are pressing heavy, and his latest federal gun case just flipped his whole world upside down. Word hit that he might be looking at a 10-year sentence, and right when that news broke, guess who jumped out the shadows? None other than Charleston White, the loudest troll in hip-hop. The second Boosie's case hit the blogs, Charleston was online dancing like it was Christmas morning.
Boosie going to jail. Oh, God. Oh, God is good. I keep telling y'all, street ain't got no God. God do not look after street. Boosie really thought he wasn't going to jail for that pistol. I knew he was going. He going to jail. All that newborn baby. Boosie won't get to see that newborn baby till that baby be walking and talking. Boosie going to jail.
He was smiling, cracking jokes, and even bragging about how he'd been waiting for this day. That man said straight up he never cared if Boosie made it back out the system. Cold-hearted, but that's Charleston for you. He lives off chaos, and this was his Super Bowl. Now here's where it gets tricky. Boosie had already told his fans earlier this year that he was tired of fighting and ready to take a plea deal.
Where the feds picked it up.
Now, it was a state case. The feds came, picked it up. They had a ruling in the Supreme Court that went in my favor. And the case got dropped by the judge. The case got dropped.
He said he trusted God, but you could tell the case was wearing him down. Remember, this same gun charge already got dismissed once before in 2023. Back then, everybody thought Boosie was finally in the clear, free to focus on his music, his family, and staying out the way. But the feds don't forget. By 2024, they spun the block, brought the same charge back, and indicted him again. This time, the weight was too much, and Boosie folded, saying he was done wasting energy in court. He admitted on X that he felt like God don't make mistakes, and he was finally ready to accept his fate. That wasn't just another post. You could feel the exhaustion in every word.
He brought you up because you were attacking Kanye because of the...
Nah, this Kanye West shit just happened. Nigga been coming at me. He been coming at me. It's just, you know, I can't respond to those people, bro. Like, that's a danger to what I got going on. You can't take no risk of losing this shit behind, you know.
Fans who've been riding with Boosie since Baton Rouge days know he's always lived on the edge. Court cases, street beefs, even health scares. He's been ducking all kinds of bullets, both real and legal, but this one feels different. 10 years is no slap on the wrist, and it hit him like a ton of bricks. The Boosie we saw on social media wasn't the same fiery dude clapping back at trolls. This was a man sounding worn down, almost broken, like all that fight left his body. And while fans were flooding his mentions with love and prayers, Charleston White was online popping champagne like he just won the lottery. He went live ear to ear grinning, saying he predicted this years ago and couldn't wait to celebrate Boosie's downfall. Then, as if that wasn't enough, Charleston crossed the line even further by saying he hoped Boosie would never make it back home. That's wild even by Charleston standards, but being wild is exactly what keeps his name buzzing.
I ain't really got no opinion on him because, you know, my opinion can send me to prison. So I ain't really, you know, I ain't really got no opinion on him. You know, once you go to threaten people's kids, talking about you out of line. So, you know, I ain't the one gonna do all that. I ain't gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, hey, you know, certain people you can't really express opinions on it, and he one of those. You can't express how you feel because you might end up in prison. And I ain't getting tricked off the streets.
What makes this whole situation even crazier is that Charleston's beef with Boosie didn't just start out the blue. This been bubbling for years, and Charleston always seemed to be lurking, waiting on Boosie to slip. Their drama actually traces back to late 2022 when Kanye West sent shockwaves through the culture with that infamous White Lives Matter shirt. Boosie was one of the first to speak out, saying yeah was disrespecting black folks, and honestly most people agreed with him. But Charleston, oh, he flipped the script. He jumped online blasting Boosie for even speaking on Kanye, and from there it was war. Charleston didn't just stop at calling Boosie out, he took it low than anyone expected, dragging Boosie's son Tootie Raw and even T.I.'s son King Harris into the mess. He called them ugly, said they couldn't fight, and even predicted they'd both end up in jail one day. That's when people realized Charleston wasn't just another loudmouth clout chaser. He was the type to aim below the belt, targeting family just to cut deeper.
Oh, just them white folk, Boosie, you done got too much. You done let these niggas play you too motherfuckers. This internet dumb and bitch. Say what little Tootie gonna do now? What little Tootie say? Listen, Vlad TV. Vlad post everybody going to jail but Boosie. Somebody tag Vlad TV.
The streets couldn't believe it, and everybody was waiting on Boosie to snap back the way he always does. But surprisingly, he didn't. Instead of exploding online, Boosie played it smart. During an interview with Tony the Closer, he explained that speaking his mind too much could easily land him behind bars, especially when someone drags kids into it.
I'm gonna put your in jail, waiting for the FBI to send me the right kind of number, because I'm finna make a report on your mother and people. And you make the man call your name specifically. The promoter specifically said your mother name, Lil Boosie. He implemented you and implicated you. To go to jail, back to jail. You gonna be on your knees, but them knees gonna be bleeding again.
So he kept his cool, saying he wasn't about to let Charleston bait him into doing or saying something reckless. That right there showed a different side of Boosie. Not scared, just cautious. He knew Charleston wanted him to explode, but he refused to give him the satisfaction. Still, anyone watching could feel the tension boiling under the surface. By early 2023, things really started heating up. Charleston was already trolling T.I. heavy about his so-called paperwork party, and that's when Boosie's son Tootie decided he had enough. Tootie clapped back, calling Charleston old and messy, even telling him to go die.
I feel, I trust in God, man. This crazy.
And Charleston, being Charleston, didn't just take the insult and move on. Nah, he cranked it up to the next level. He went live saying, I hope your daddy died from that diabetes. I hope they forget to send him insulin 1 month. Who even says stuff like that? That was more than trolling. That was pure venom aimed at Boosie through his own child. And then, in a twist that made it all worse, Tootie actually ended up getting arrested later that same month on a gun charge. The second that news dropped, Charleston was online taking credit for it. He bragged about calling the police, sending in pictures, and tipping off the Department of Public Safety.
I'm not a street kid. I'm not a criminal. I'm a kid who was raised to tell the truth. When my mama come in and say, son, what happened? Mama, I didn't do that. I got to pay for a lawyer. I got 2 lawyers, Carl Mallory and Louis Stearns. Louis Stearns became Judge Stearns, Judge Louis Stearns. But nigga, I had 2 paid for lawyers. My mama is a well-to-do mama. I'm just playing, I ain't playing. I'm an adolescent going through an adolescent stage of rebelliousness. I ain't no street. Hell yeah, I'm gonna tell on you. I've been telling since I was a little bitty boy.
He even